Easter egg disaster. A Harry and Emily adventure written by Karen Gray Ruelle. Chapter 1. Crack! That is not how you make an Easter egg, said Emily. Her big brother Harry put down his egg. You are doing it wrong, said Emily. She picked up an egg. She picked out a pink crayon. She drew on the egg. Crack! The egg broke. I drew too hard, said Emily. She picked up another egg. She picked out a green crayon. Crack! If you are so smart, said Emily, why don't you show me? First, you get the egg out of the shell, said Harry. He poked 2 holes in an eggshell. He blew through one hole. Raw egg dripped out of the other hole. Yuck, said Emily. Let me try. Harry poked holes in another shell. Emily blew hard. Nothing happened. She blew harder. Nothing happened. She squeezed the egg hard. The shell broke. I got the egg out, said Emily. But we cannot decorate a broken shell, said Harry. There must be a better way to make Easter eggs, said Emily. We can hard-boil the eggs, said Harry. Then we can decorate them. Yum, said Emily. I like hard-boiled eggs. Chapter 2. Mixed Up Colors. We have 6 hard-boiled eggs to decorate, said Harry. He picked out a white crayon. He drew a bunny on an egg. He used green and red crayons for flowers. Then he dipped the bottom of the egg in green dye. He dipped the rest of the egg in blue dye. The dye did not stick to the crayon drawing, but it colored the rest of the shell. Harry's egg had a white bunny and red and green tulips. It had green grass and a blue sky. Emily said, "Let me do one." She drew a pink chick and a purple flower. "I want a yellow sky," she said. She dipped the egg in yellow dye. "That looks funny," she said. "I will make it blue instead." She dipped the yellow egg in blue dye. "It turned green," she said. "That is what happens when you mix colors together," said Harry. "Yellow and blue make green." "What a great trick," said Emily. "What other colors can you make?" "Let's find out," said Harry. They mixed red and blue. It made purple. They mixed red and yellow. It made orange. They mixed red and yellow and blue. "That looks like mud," said Emily. In the end, all 6 eggs had pretty crayon drawings, but all 6 eggs were mud brown. "These eggs are ugly," said Emily. "I think we should hide them." "What a great idea," said Harry. "We can make an Easter egg hunt for Mom and Dad. We can use chocolate eggs, too." "Ooh, I love chocolate eggs," said Emily. Chapter 3. Crunch! It was the day before Easter. "Let's hide the eggs now," said Emily, "before the Easter Bunny comes." They looked for good spots. They found a good spot for a dyed egg under a chair cushion. They found 2 good spots in a pair of boots. They were good hiding spots for chocolate eggs, too. They put some in a glove. They put some in a hat. The best hiding spots were in the kitchen. "Let's put chocolate eggs in this empty pan," said Emily. They also put chocolate eggs in the oven. "Let's put some dyed eggs in the egg tray in the fridge," said Harry. "I can't wait for Easter," said Emily. Later that day, Harry and Emily's parents began to get ready for Easter. "The daffodils would look pretty on the table," said their mother. "I will get some from the garden," said their father. "Here are your gardening gloves and hat," said their mother. She put them down on the radiator. "It is muddy outside," she said. "You will need your boots." Their father put on his boots. Crunch, crunch! "What was that?" he asked. He sat down on the chair to remove his boots. Crunch! There was crushed egg everywhere. "Who put these eggs here?" he asked. He was angry. He cleaned up the mess, then picked up his hat and gardening gloves. "I will go and pick those flowers now," he said. He put on his gloves. He put on his hat. "Who put chocolate in my hat and gloves?" he said in a very angry voice. Harry and Emily's mother started to make dinner. She chopped onions and peppers. She put them in a pan with oil. She turned on the oven. Soon there was a burning smell. She opened the oven door. There was chocolate burning in the oven. "Who put chocolate in here?" she asked. The onions and peppers were getting hot. She stirred them. The spoon turned brown. "How did chocolate get in the pan?" "Now dinner is ruined. The oven is a mess," she said. "I'll have to make something else for dinner. How about an omelet?" She opened the refrigerator. "What happened to all the eggs?" she asked. There were no uncooked eggs. They were all hard-boiled and decorated for Easter. Chapter 4. Big Trouble. Harry and Emily were in trouble. "We didn't mean to make a mess," said Harry. "We were trying to make you an Easter egg hunt," said Emily. "Instead of an Easter egg hunt, you made an Easter egg disaster," said their mother. "Clean up this mess," said their father. When they went to bed that night, Harry and Emily were worried. "What if Mom and Dad are still mad in the morning?" said Harry. "What if they don't let the Easter Bunny come?" said Emily. Harry could not sleep all night. Emily had bad dreams about no Easter candy. The next morning, Harry and Emily came down to breakfast. There were no Easter baskets in their rooms. The Easter Bunny had not come. Would they even have Easter at all? Were their parents still angry? "Good morning," said their mother. "We are sorry about the mess we made," said Harry. "We made you an Easter card," said Emily. She gave their parents the Easter card. "It is also an apology card," she said. "Apology accepted," said their father. Then their mother said, "I see more Easter eggs." "We didn't hide any more," said Harry. "But I see them outside," she said. She pointed out the window. Harry and Emily saw something in the garden. They ran outside. There in the garden were two beautiful Easter eggs. They lay between two Easter baskets. Inside the baskets were marshmallow chicks. There were jelly bean eggs. There were two of the biggest chocolate Easter bunnies they had ever seen. "The Easter Bunny came," said Emily. "This is going to be a good Easter after all," said Harry. "Isn't it, Emily?" "Mmm," said Emily, her mouth already full of chocolate and marshmallow and jelly beans.